Hi everyone, going to have a chat about this mother of a novel, Stefan, the New Generation, the fourth novel in the Porn Star Brothers series under my adult author name of LJ Diva. If you've read the series, Porn Star Brothers, Forever Love Never Dies, this comes next. It jumps 25 years after Love Never Dies. So you will need to have read the books. There are recurring characters and storylines that were set up in the first three novels come to be resolved in this one. 25 to 30 years later, because it's 30 years after the very first novel and it's 25 after Love Never Dies. Now, in this book, we've still got Spiros and Jenny as the matriarch and patriarch of the family. They run Stephanopoulos Inc. We've still got Carlos with Vivian, Pedro with Angelina, Tomas with Roger. But we've got kids. Now, in Forever, you had Diana and Alina be born. And then at the end of Love Never Dies, you had Cabot and Antonio, Carlos and Viv's twins be born. In the 25 years since, along has come Dominic, Alexis and Dante. We've got the three golden-haired model children of Carlos and Vivian and the four dark-haired of Pedro and Angelina. So, in essence, this is their story, which is why we've got the kids on the cover of the book, because this is the new generation of Stefan. That's the name a lot of them go under. Dom Stefan, Dante Stefan, Alina's just Alina. She's like Cher and Madonna. She goes by a single name. You've got Cabot and Antonio, who go by the monikers of Steel and Phoenix Stefan, or just Steel and Phoenix. So that's hilarious in itself, and they're models. Cabot gets up to all sorts of trouble. So a lot of this is his story. Some of it is Dante's story. You've got Dante fighting with Dom. You've got Alexis fighting with Alina. There's a lot of Alexis's story in here. Diana falls in love. Alina falls in love, but with someone she shouldn't be falling in love with, because his parents have history with her parents and the rest of the Stephanopoulos family. You've got the characters now of Mike and Maggie, which you would have heard about and read about in the first three books. They're Pedro and Angelina's best friends. Their daughters, Summer and Melody, are Alexis's best friends. Their son, Nick, is Dante's best friend. Dominic's a bit of a loner. He has friends to begin with, but then they very quickly disappear. Diana's off modelling on her own, and Cabot and Antonio have each other. Everyone gets up to all sorts of issues, we'll say. Some things happen to Alexis and Cabot and Dante, so I won't give those away. You've got certain members of the family growing up emotionally. I should also point out Cabot, because that makes him grow up as well. Cabot has to deal with issues that his uncles Tomas and Roger dealt with in Love Never Dies. If you've read Love Never Dies, you'll know a lot of people die from AIDS and HIV. So that comes back around in this book. And a lot of characters that were in the first three novels, as I said, they come back into this book, and storylines are resolved. Very weirdly. So the story's about them, half of it. The other half is about Carlos, Pedro, Tomas, especially Tomas. A lot of things happen to him in the earlier novels that come to a resolution. You know, Spiros and Jenny are getting old, and Spiros is enjoying his retirement, and Jenny's still running the company, but the three boys are also running it with her. Vivian makes plans to retire. The girls have their own fashion house, and, you know, the boys are DJs or models, and Alexis is kind of all over the place. But if you've read the previous novels, without giving too much away, a lot of the storylines are resolved. You do have some people they knew who are now passing away. It jumps to 2007. So most of this is set in 2007. Diana falls in love with someone who isn't there. But that gets resolved towards the end because, you know, Jenny to the rescue. It then jumps to a short story that I actually wrote. And it concerns Roger. And I've made it a chapter, so I can't give too much away. But it'll mean another picture should have been here. So it then jumps to 2008 for the last chapter. And it's then the setup for DeLuca. So you can read the novel separately, but then you'll be going, oh, who's this, who's that? Oh, when did they? So really read it in a row. And this is the biggest novel I've written. It comes in at under 319,000 words. It is my nod to Jackie Collins. I'd say this is the book closest to her books that I've written because hers are long. I've mentioned her a lot, and I suppose a lot of people would say why. I mean, that was just the stuff I loved reading. I mean, it was about Hollywood, actors, musos, you know, all sorts of people you wanted to get into the lives of, and she wrote about them. So I kind of wanted that. There's a few setups for other books, as I've said, and a lot of stories are resolved. So the paperback and hardcover are massive. This is 920 pages. Hardcover dust jacket is 988. The ebook is big, so that is the most expensive of all of the series. But it's a big book, and it's my nod to Jackie, and this is hopefully the only big one I'm going to write in my life, though the current novel that I've written comes in at about 134,000 words. But yeah, just under 319,000 words. It's massive, it's big, it could be a doorstop or a weapon. I mean, you could potentially kill someone with this. There's a storyline. So Stefan, The New Generation, a nod to Jackie's Hollywood Wives, The New Generation. The fourth novel in the Porn Star Brothers series, under my adult author name of LJ Diva, at all good online bookstores.